Thanks for joining us for August's TLC Tech Time. We're happy you're here. My name is Emily. I'm an instructional designer with the Teaching and Learning Center. Our topic today is the TLC Canvas Starter Kit, which is a set of templates to help you get started building your Canvas course. The templates are designed around accessibility and instructional design best practices, and you can customize them to fit your needs. The goal of the session is for you to be able to customize the templates and each item for your purpose and use it in your course. You may have seen a quick tour of the starter kit in this month's Canvas in 5, and today we'll go into a deeper dive into it. This demo will walk through how the starter kit is organized and where to start once it's in your course. So let's imagine you've just imported the starter kit into your course. And as a quick reminder, if you haven't seen this month's Canvas in 5 video, you'll find the starter kit in Canvas Commons. So we can click Commons from the global navigation menu and then search for the TLC Canvas Starter Kit, open that, and then we can preview it here and click Import to import it into your Canvas course shell. So I'll select the course that I want it to copy into and then click import. Now I've already done this, so I'll just go back to the starter kit in my course. And if you have just done this too, you will see this home page as the first item in the course. And you can edit this to include your information, but the first place you'll want to start in the starter kit is a link at the top of the homepage, how to use the TLC Canvas Starter Kit. So I'll click into this page, and this is just a how-to guide that gives you step-by-step guidance for setting up and customizing the templates, and it points you to additional help if you might need it too. So this page really functions as a resource for questions like what's included in the starter kit, how it's organized, and how to navigate it, what you should customize, remove, or unpublish. There's also a checklist here of things to do before publishing. And then at the bottom, we have further resources or how-to guides that might help you if you get stuck somewhere. Once you have gone through the setup guide, the next step is to click Modules in the course navigation menu. And this is where you'll find the actual starter kit content. There are two main templates here, the course orientation template and the content module template. You'll also see the Instructor Resources module at the top, which we just looked at. And as a reminder, this page is just for you, and that's why it's unpublished. The two other modules are for your students. And along with modules, you might use other areas of Canvas like assignments or quizzes to build out your course content. But if you're using the module structure like this course template is, you can see the content in the way that a student would experience it. So in this course template, students are not clicking assignments and quizzes. Instead, they are navigating through the module. So they're accessing each item in a controlled sequence, going from the module overview to instructional content and then to assessments. And in our starter kit, modules is the best place to see all items included in the kit. So let's start with the course orientation. This module is designed to give students a clear place to begin before they get into the course content. So this would be week 0 or week 1 of your course. And each page answers student questions like the course introduction explains, what is this course? The syllabus states, what do I need to know? The course schedule will explain what should I expect and when, and the Get Help page indicates where do I go when I need help, and the discussion explains who's my instructor and classmates. You might also have an instructor introduction page, but I have incorporated that into the course introduction page. And we can see here, all of these are starting points. You can keep what works for your course and remove what doesn't. So the bracketed text on this page and every other page is placeholder. So you can remove, delete, and add to that and add all of your relevant information here. You can also adapt the items in the module. So for instance, you might do the discussion in person, for example, if you have a face-to-face course. So you might remove that from the course orientation module. This is all flexible. Then we have a content module, and this is designed to give students a predictable structure for moving through a unit or topic. It starts by orienting students to the module and moves through content and activities and ends by bringing the learning together through assessments where you can measure student learning. And this module is something that you might copy 10 times for 10 weeks, for example, so you can follow the same structure each week or for each unit. And if you want to duplicate a module, click the 3 dots next to its name and click duplicate, and then you'll have a copy of it underneath, and you can duplicate as many times as you would like. You can also click edit here to rename the module so that it's meaningful to your students. So let's look at each component in the module. First, we have a module overview page, and the purpose of this page is to give students a roadmap for the module. So we start with explaining the module's focus and explaining why this matters or why students should engage with this content. It also has clear learning outcomes so students know what their goals are, and it ends with the assignments due this week so that students can schedule accordingly. So this page really sets clear expectations, giving students an idea not only about what we're doing, but why we're doing it. And you can click edit at the top of the page and every other page to change the title to indicate the actual content you're providing here, and the name should differentiate each page for students. And again, you'll want to change those bracketed text, swapping it out for what's relevant for your course, and then we'll click save at the bottom. And if you're navigating through the entire module, one item at a time, you can click next at the bottom of the screen, and that may be how students are moving through the module as well. And this brings us to an instructional content page. So why would you use this page? There are benefits of creating the instructional content right here in Canvas on a page rather than uploading a Word document or slides. For example, now students don't have to leave Canvas or download a file and open it in another program. This page is accessible on any device, and because this page includes headings and subheadings and lists, it is more accessible to assistive technology like a screen reader than some file types like scanned PDFs or slides. It's also easier for you to go in and make a quick edit later instead of re-uploading a whole new file every time something changes. And the next page is also an instructional content page you might use, but it's focused more on providing files like slides, PDFs, images, or resources like external websites or videos. So this is the uploaded files and resources page. And again, that's a title that you might change. The note to instructors at the top has links to how to add content to a Canvas page or embed content. So I won't focus much on how to do that. But this page is essentially a list of resources that you want to share with students. And for each resource, there's space to explain what the resource covers, how students should use it, if they'll apply this resource in an assignment, key considerations they might focus on while engaging with the resource, and then when they should complete the resource or access the resource. So that's all providing context, and then the link exists there. And then the next heading indicates a new resource. So an alternative to this type of page would be uploading slides or documents to files or to a module as a module item without uploading them to a page. So why would you use this page? When we upload files not on a page like this, there is no context as to what students are to do with it, why they're accessing it, if they'll need it later, whether it applies to an assignment or another activity in class. But on this page, you can write that information here before or after linking the file or embedding the item or link here on the page. So that's all really helpful context, and you can make connections to previous materials, indicate why, how, and when students should engage, just giving them really clear direction and guidance about engaging with your course materials, which you cannot provide when just uploading it by itself to files or as a module item. And if you have a lot of instructional content, you might copy either of these instructional content pages to add more to a module. So to copy pages, I'll go back to modules and I will find the page in the module. So next to its name, I'll click the 3 dots and click duplicate. And now you have a copy indicated by copy underneath it. And you can do that as many times as you would like. And next we see assessments. And in a real module, you would probably have practice activities or assessments, but these can work like that too. So we see this assignment has 10 points, but it could have 0 points and be ungraded. So the assignment, discussion, and quiz could all function as ungraded formative assessments or graded summative assessments. So I will click into the assignment, and you'll also notice that the assignment, discussion, and quiz template all include more information than simply here's your assignment. They are built with transparency in mind. So they each begin with a purpose statement. And the purpose tells students why they're doing an assignment. It includes skills and knowledge to tell students how this assignment will benefit their learning and how the specific knowledge and skills involved in this assignment will be important in students' real lives later outside of just this assignment and course. And then we have clear step-by-step instructions written from the student perspective and grading criteria, so students will know exactly how they're graded, and they can use this as a checklist to review their work before they submit. And of course, you'll have to fill in your grading criteria, where this bracketed text is, and your instructions and all of that stuff. You'll have to fill in the details here relevant to your assignment. And then we have submission requirements, so students know exactly how to submit. There's also a rubric here, and we can edit it if we would like by clicking the pencil icon, or you can delete it with the trash can icon. And I'll just preview it for now. So this just has 2 categories. It's a basic rubric, but this is just kind of an example of how you might set one up. Again, you can edit it if you would like, view the longer description. So you can attach these to any assignment, and I'll X out of that. I'll click on next to go to the discussion. And again, we would edit for your relevant content. I'll click next into the quiz, and this is a new quiz. So you will have to click build, and then you'll be able to edit for your relevant content there. And I will click next into the final item of the module, which is a module summary. And this page helps reinforce key takeaways, help students reflect on what they learned, and connect the module's learning to what comes next. So now you have seen all of the pieces of the TLC Canvas Starter Kit. This is totally customizable, and really the key idea I hope you'll take away from today's session is that the Starter Kit is a starting point, not a finished course. It's all very adaptable to you. And if you are wondering where to start after today's session, you can go back to the start here, how to use the TLC Canvas Starter Kit page. It walks you through the customization process and points you toward additional help. Thanks for watching this month's Tech Time. I hope you add the TLC Canvas Starter Kit into your course and find it useful in your course design. If you have any questions about any of these items covered today, please reach out to us at the TLC, and we look forward to seeing you next time.